top, but Vincent van der Voort is one of them as he makes his way onto the stage to take on Germany's #1 in the opening round of the Happy Bet European Darts Trophy in the penultimate game of the opening day of action. Just 2 more spots in the second round up for grabs. Joe Cullen and Jamie Lewis will duke it out in the final game of the night. But this, well, when I looked at the matches at the start of the day, this is one that certainly stood out. It is very difficult to predict how either of these two are going to play, but they have it in their lockers to do very special things. And if we are lucky, both of them start firing tonight and put on a treat for the several hundred German fans here at the RWE Arena. I'm Dan Dawson, Paul Nicholson sat alongside me for this one.
Spot on, Dan.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg, Vincent to throw first. Game on!
As Russ gets us underway. Sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen when it comes to Vincent and to Max. And
58.
I saw Max play last week, and he would probably admit it wasn't his best game.
No.
But then again, Vincent hasn't qualified for a couple of these events recently, and he'll just be happy to be here and have the opportunity to kick on.
Well, look, I mean, the last time we saw Vincent on the Euro Tour was Austria, when
60.
young Mr. Murphy was in the commentary box with us, and we didn't see Vincent very long. He went out in round 1.
Yeah, Steve Beaton, wasn't it?
I believe it was. He did make the last 16 in Hamburg earlier this year, but
57.
other than that, I mean, he's not made the Euro Tour. I mean, he's in very real danger of not qualifying for the European Championship. And for a man who is ranked 17 in the world, that would be considered, well, a bit of a blot on his record for 2016.
Hey, that says to me that the
85.
qualification through the Euro qualifiers is getting harder.
Well, he has tried to qualify for a number of these events. He just hasn't made it through in some of them. Didn't qualify for Gibraltar. He didn't qualify for Risa last time out. So it's not as if he hasn't been trying.
Vincent, you require 103.
But he's left himself 103 for a hold of throw in the opening leg, and he's got 6 darts at this at least. Well, he's going to need it. Okay.
47.
Yeah, well, raised eyebrows from Russ there as he tries to figure out just what he's left.
Yep. A bit like Dad's Army, don't panic. We've got 56. He'll take that when Max is on 2-5 now. That's for sure.
Vincent, you require 56.
Oh, he definitely knows how to get this one. Tops. Good height for Van der Voort. That'll
Game
do.
shot in the first leg. Vincent van der Voort.
He's only an 18 darter, but it won't bother him. He won the ball, held his first leg. First mission accomplished. Now, Van der Voort, in qualification, took a victory over Christian Gödel, 6-2, and then Tony West, 6-3. Now, you will be asking us on social media, Tony West from Hertfordshire, why is he in the European qualification?
Yes, they will ask you that, Paul. They will say his brother Steve. Why? He came through the UK qualifiers.
Well, it's based on where you live and for a period of time. Tony West has been living in Holland for quite some time now and does qualify to play through the European qualifiers. So no complaints there whatsoever.
Yeah, just 3 legs away. Tony West from having both West brothers here. Got both Hybrex brothers here, although one of them has made an early exit. Ronnie losing to Vincent Campos earlier on. Unfortunate for Max.
You mentioned that he's spoke to Max earlier about a change of darts.
Yeah, these are new darts he's got, as Vincent now shows him how it's done. First maximum of this encounter. These are new darts. They arrived in the post on Wednesday, I'm told. Max Hopp. We talked about Martin Schindler earlier on. He's got new darts in the pipeline. Had to wait for him to get his new nickname. So they'll be the wall darts, but these will be maximizer darts on the way.
One of the few things that can be delivered through a pipeline.
Yes. But yeah, these have different points. So
87.
the point is part of the dart itself. It's not one you can remove. Max said that it's a big factor for him. He doesn't need to tighten it. Sometimes in games, he just needs to make sure that they're properly on on tightly so it doesn't affect the flight of the
84.
dart. And previously he's been in the zone,
Vincent, you
concentrating on the
require
game,
52.
hasn't had time to do it, and then he's realised only after he's thrown the dart and it's affected where it's landed. But here's Vincent van der Voort looking at tops for a 2-0 lead and a break.
Game shot.
And that is very efficient stuff from Vincent van der Voort. A 14 dart break of throw, and already the German number 1 is giving himself work to do here.
And the crowd are no longer singing Vincent's name because he's spoiling the party.
134.
Yeah, we saw Max last weekend. He came through the qualifiers and he got Darren Webster in the first round. He thought, well, onto a winner here, because Darren Webster, he's not even got his own darts. Had to buy them from the merchandise stand, and he's had to go and get a new clobber from the shop down the road. It's not exactly the best preparation, but Webster played very, very well against him, and Max didn't really hit his stride, and he went out in round 1, and that's to add to a round 1 exit in Dusseldorf. And, well, he did have some good results earlier in the year on the European Tour. We could just do with recapturing that form. I mean, first German to make it through to the quarterfinals in one of these European Tour events.
Not the last.
No, most recently Dragutin Horvath.
Yeah, he's got company now. He took out a couple of people last night in Stefan Boehmer and one of our favourites, Holger Rettig.
Yeah, that is a German name.
Yep, 6-5 that one. That was a tight game. But there's no other races in this match. Maybe new darts. Just hasn't christened them properly yet.
95.
You know, a lot of people say to me, how do you get used to new darts quicker? Well, I've got a tip for you folks. When he's sitting on the couch watching EastEnders or whatever it is you watch, maybe Ray Donovan, that's a bit cooler. Sit there and just have them in your hands. Keep them moving around. That way your fingers get used to how they feel. 88 for Van der Voort.
79.
I just think that's a really good tip. Fingers get used to the way they feel, and then when you get a bit sweatier, feel a bit more pressure, it works.
Ooh, needed the treble 19 for a go at double 12.
93.
And Vincent to go 3-0 up here. Halfway to a place in the second round. Double 2. There it is, and Vincent van der Voort, it's a third leg, all around, 5 or 6 visits to the board. It is solid stuff from Vincent van der Voort, and Max needs to raise his game and raise it very, very soon. Otherwise,
60.
Well, there'll only be one German in the second round, and that'll be Eine kleine Dartspieler, Martin Schindler.
99.
I'm seeing a pattern with the misses from Max Hopp as well. They all seem to be quite low, below the 60. That one's all right. So you can follow them in all right. Much better from Max.
It's that idea of getting the first dart in the right place. It's much easier to work off that, isn't it? If you've got that dart there, you've got your line and length, you've got 2 in your hand, and potentially if it is in the right place, you've got a slightly bigger target to aim at. But that is making it difficult.
That's the miss.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's a great adjustment. But I think it's important for Max to have one thing to be thinking about when he's throwing. It's always been my mantra. Is that the right word? Mantra?
Yeah.
Had this whole discussion with Rob Malarkey last week. And my thing is I like to have the white stem in my right eye going down the right line. I can take care of the weight of it, but it's a lot harder to do that kind of thing with black stems and black flights. But that's always been my thing. He's got to find one thing that he can think about when he's throwing and just let it fly.
It's about process, isn't it? It doesn't matter how you throw or what you throw or in what manner, but as long as you can do the same thing over and over, and if you're focusing on a particular aspect of it and everything else will take care of itself, you practice so much. You know, you could literally throw darts blindfolded and get somewhere near the target.
Yeah, process is probably the most overused word in sport right now, but it is so true.
Oh, hang on. Look at this. Oh, how is that so far away?
Great leave, Vincent. Absolutely brilliant leave. All of a sudden, same target for Max. Now, 17, and tops to get on the board. It is on the board. It's in the board. It's in tops. And it's 1-3 to Vincent van der Voort.
Well, I tell you what, Max hasn't played very well so far in this game, but bearing in mind the context of that shot, with Vincent sat on 36 and he's in a 180 here as well. But to take that out, one dart at the double to save yourself from going 4-0 down with a double break. I mean, that was a big shot from Max Hopp. He does show you glimpses. He's got bottle. We know that. We've seen him go up there and have battles with established pros. I mean, his win against Mervyn King at the World Championship, he had a 98-99 average. He took out a huge shot. I think did he take out 161 to win it? It was immense stuff from Max Hopp, and you saw glimpses of the player that he could be. And he's only 20 years old. He's got a lot of learning to do and improving to do. But if he can do that on a more regular basis, then he really could deliver as Germany's great hope of darts. But right now, Vincent van der Voort, well, that 2 180s in this leg, he really is showing Max Hopp the level that he has to reach if he wants to reach the game for the league.
Oh boy, that was an expensive 60 on the floor. It's really not going to make any difference by the looks of it, because van der Voort double 8 and it'll be 4-1 all of a sudden.
25.
Well, he's coming back. He's got plenty of breathing time. I think as well we talked about process, something that Max might want to know. Get the little victories. They all add up. Just think about that one for a few minutes. It makes a lot of sense. 2 hits, van der Voort. With fear.
Game shown the 5th
No
leg.
fear on double fear.
Sixth leg Max,
and all of a sudden his fear ain't up.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive stuff from Vincent van der Voort right now. We saw probably the performance of the day may have come from Andy the Pieman Smith on his return to the Euro Tour. I mean, he averaged 98 earlier on, saw off a dangerous customer in Robbie Green and won it very convincingly in the end, 6-1.
I wouldn't disagree with you there, Dan. I thought that was a very good performance. And it's great to see the happiest man in the world, Andy Smith, with an even bigger smile after getting a victory against a very dangerous customer in Robbie Green.
I think even Terry Jenkins cracked a smile.
No.
Wow.
You are lying.
Well,
59.
I'm only kidding, Terry.
Two mates reunited again on the European Tour for the first time in a long while.
I'll tell you what will get Terry Jenkins smiling.
82.
There's a shop down the street called De Nostalgie.
Oh, well, he'll be rooting around there for a bargain, no doubt, Terry.
He's probably having a lock-in.
60.
The tungsten lovejoy that he is. Vincent has stolen a march on Max in this leg as well, and he's not making the most of it with his first 2 darts. Or indeed the third, but Max is running out of time here to turn it on. There is an absolute chasm between these two averages.
That's one thing you don't get with Vincent when he's in this mood. You don't get time. And what's more, it's only best of 11. You don't get time anyway.
Yeah, games can change even in this short format, but the thing is, when Vincent's on the charge,
96.
he's a very difficult man to stop.
And what's more, we have to recognise the fact that we didn't see him in Risa last week. So he's rested, he's fresh, and he is someone who practices the right amount. He doesn't over-practice. He will do what he needs to do. Very handy.
Yeah, the
65.
The man of his experience, and with all the back problems and things he's had as well, you would think that he has learnt what he can put his body through.
102.
And I think Raymond van Barneveld is doing that very thing at the minute. He's learning what he can do to prolong his career even more.
Now, Max took this out earlier on. He's going to have to take it out again. 1 dart at double top. Oh, doesn't find the target this time, and it might be 5-1. Van der Voort. Support Germany's #1 on the brink of an early exit, and there it is, 5-1. The Dutch destroyer in complete charge of this encounter. And, well, what has been at times tonight a pretty vocal German crowd have just been stunned into silence by, well, the non-appearance of their great champion this evening, it has to be said.
100.
Well, Max looks worried to me. I'm not sure what about. I think someone said it earlier on. I think it was Devin Peterson, he was talking about Matthew Dennett.
57.
You learn more from losing than you do from winning. Now, what we will learn is if Vincent van der Voort wins this match, which it's looking increasingly likely now, is that he will learn, oh, I'm playing all right. Max will have to look at what's gone wrong in this match and then potentially fix it before Sindelfingen next week.
Well, this is a bit more like it. 123, but it might just be the final death throes from the maximizer here, because Vincent van der Voort is looking very good indeed for a place in round 2. Jelle Klaassen, the number 9 seed, awaits in what would be a double Dutch clash of very quick throwers. And Vincent, don't forget, you know, he's not had the greatest year, Vincent van der Voort, but he has won on the European Tour. I think we've had 19 different winners. Vincent is one of them.
60. That would have left double 18 for the match.
65.
So he's strolling at the minute. He's in autopilot.
Well, Max Hopp, he was an interested spectator last week, having been knocked out early. He said he was watching Mensur in the final. He was watching it in the bath. He said he was nearly in tears watching Mensur finally win it.
44.
I suggest if there are tears tonight, it's for a very different reason, because Vincent van der Voort is looking at 16 for double top. That is the easy bit done. 2 match darts. And that is 6-1. Vincent van der Voort, a comprehensive victory against Germany's number 1 Max Hopp, who never really got going tonight. We do have one more spot in the second round up for grabs, and it will see 2 of the young guns duking it out in the final game of the evening session on day 1 of the Happy Bet European Darts Trophy, as Joe Cullen, a man in really good form. Exciting stuff we're seeing from Joe Cullen on a regular basis this year, taking on the new dad Jamie Lewis to round things off here at the RWE Arena.
No more flights left. That's live. Vincent, congratulations. Normally it's difficult to play Max Hopp in the first round in Germany. Today it looked quite easy. Solid win.
No, it was. He didn't play as well as he can, and he struggled, and I saw that. And after a couple of legs, I thought just get a rhythm going, and that's what I done. I didn't play great, but he was just struggling. I watched him and I thought, oh, keep on going, Max. You know, how talented he is. So.
Sometimes it's difficult to play at home, right? The expectations are high from the crowd, from himself.
Oh yeah. I learned over the years that I only have to watch myself. Don't worry about anybody else. Just play my own game, and that's what I do. And I expected a lot of abuse today, but the crowd was great. Really, thank you very much.
Also bedankt sich bei euch. Ihr wart ein faires Publikum. Last question. Jelle Klaassen, next opponent. You know him for many years.
Oh yeah. Class player, unbelievable player. If he's on form, he's probably unstoppable. So I'm going to try my best to calm him down.
Okay. See you tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Vincent van der Voort, the Dutch Destroyer, steht in Runde 2, trifft auf Jelle Klaassen und er sagt, es ist gar nicht so einfach.